What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the YouTube Barber Academy. Now today's video, what we're gonna talk about is 5 things that I just can't live without. And now this list is kind of more about stuff that I probably wouldn't even know about if I wasn't a YouTube barber, if people didn't send me things, if I didn't experiment more, because really I think it's just easy to kind of become complacent. You got your tools that work, you got your things that work, and you just come to work every day and it's like Groundhog's Day, and you don't even think to change some of the stuff or like what could actually make your process easier. So with that being said, let's get started. This is the Uno from Gamma. I've talked a lot about this, but this has really made my life a lot easier. It's really, really good for the low fades, really good for the blowouts or the tapers, or probably one of my favorite situations to use this in. I don't like shaving right that close to the nose. It's just so easy to cut people, and believe me, I've been doing this for almost 20 years. It's got nothing to do with your personal skills. You can always make a mistake. And it's just easy to take this right underneath the nose for them clients that like their mustache pushed down a little bit, or any sensitive areas that like you just can't really get with the razor that easy. And if you didn't even want to use a razor, you could use your trimmer. You could follow up behind this and it'll make the line almost as good as your straight razor line. So this is just one of the really clutch items that I know I never would have bought this. If somebody didn't send this to me, I never would have bought it. I never would have experienced it. But I'll tell you what, it's definitely something that I wouldn't want to cut hair without, as well as the next one. Let's go. The next one has been a pretty big change over just the last year. It's actually using a taper blade on one of my clippers. Now, what I've found with using a taper blade is it's a lot more forgiving, it's a lot more soft, and it just gives you a really good blend. Now, what I basically do is I'm putting in my skin lines, I'm taking out anything harsh with the Fusion blade. That's another blade that I think is great, but just using a taper blade. It doesn't necessarily have to be the taper blade from Gamma. I'm just saying to set one up with a taper blade and do most of your blending with the taper blade, you are going to find that your fades not only come out faster, they probably come out better. So if you're not experimenting with that, you need to give it a try. Let's move on to the next one. Just sort of mist them with some water and then comb it against the grain. And you'll see a lot of times a bunch of little ones stick up again, and then you can go back in and you can get them. So a lot of times these guys will go home, shampoo their hair, and then look in the mirror and see a bunch of like little long ones still. All right, so the next one. This is kind of a funny one, but I'm getting pretty close to cutting hair for 20 years. I have squeezed the water bottle more times than I ever care to talk about, and I don't want to get carpal tunnel as early. So I actually have a true automatic spray bottle, and yes, you can find this at your like local Home Depot, but this thing will pour out a ton of water on your client in a fine mist, and it's just awesome. And I use this to just wet somebody's hair like super quick. So not only does it get done faster, I'm not sitting there squeezing over and over again using this poor hand that has squeezed so many water bottles and has to move so many scissors and has to flick so many clippers. So anyways, I just want to make things easy, and you can pick this up on Amazon. I will drop most of these products in the link that I can, but this is just one of them things that I can't go without. I've been using a true automatic spray bottle now, and you guys have seen it on the channel for a long time, and it's definitely something that I'm never going back. But if you're too cool for that, just keep squeezing your water bottle. All right, so the next one I want to talk about is this Essence razor from Titleist. This is just an amazing product. You guys have seen the video on it, but the thing that I like most about this is that it has a really long finger brace. Now, what this has done for me is this has just made it a lot easier to hold and gives me a lot more control, especially when I'm doing a backhand or a reverse backhand. I can just grip it so much better than I can with my old razor. My old razor barely had any tang sticking out, so I got to bunch up my hand like that. And again, it just goes back to wear and tear on my body, and I'm not trying to deal with more than I need to. So with this bunching up my hand like this, it made it a lot harder to control. And now that I got this one, my hand, I can almost like stretch my whole hand out flat, and it just makes it so easy to work with. Plus, I love the fact that I could fit both my single edge blades, my double edge blades, or I can fit practically any razor in this, but they're mainly designed for your double edge blades, and they're designed for those feather artist blades. And I'm pretty sure you can fit a lot of different stuff in here because they use 2 magnets. I did a whole video on it, and if you guys want to check it out, it's right here. But this is definitely something that I never would have spent the money for because they are expensive. I never would have bought this on my own if not for YouTube or somebody having sent me this. This is something I wouldn't even know about and I wouldn't even have considered. This is kind of like a triple thing here because you kind of need 3 things to make this work, but mainly this airbrush is just fantastic. Now, I got it all taped up because I've dropped it like 100 times, but this thing works so good and it blows air through at 30 PSI. Only thing I don't like about it is to turn it on, it's on the bottom. It would have been cooler if it was on the top, but that's about it. That's where it ends. The rest of this is fantastic. Now, to use this and get the most out of this, using the Tomb 45 spray is just fantastic. There's no mixing involved, just shake it and put it in. They got a little ball bearing in here, you can hear it. That mixes it up nice, you pour it in there. And then using the Sean color cards, the Sean Cuts Hair color cards, that's just another game changer too. So if you're going to do enhancements, I much prefer the Tomb 45 spray over pretty much anything else. You know, you can use fibers to create like some really, nice looks and everything like that for your picture. But like to actually use an enhancement that's really gonna help your client, that doesn't blow away in the wind and it doesn't wash off like right away. I did a whole video on enhancements 101, but yeah, this is just a fantastic airbrush, and I wouldn't wanna cut hair without it. And in fact, when I am cutting hair without it, like say at home or something, I come to really miss this thing. Now this is something that's definitely made its way onto my station, and I'm gonna keep it here. This is by Anasty, and I'm gonna put the link in the description to this, and then you're just gonna have to head over to Tomb 45 to scoop up these if you wanna use that type of color. Of course, you could also use Kiss Express with this, and you can mix it with alcohol or water. With that being said, let's go on to the last one. And last but not least, this is the Heat Stroke from Gamma. These things are really reasonable priced. You guys can check them out down below. You can use my code Eddie to save 10%. But as a tool that I use before I straighten out somebody's beard, before I cut somebody's beard, before I shape it up, this tool has just been awesome. And not to mention, I get to use it on myself, and it's one of them things I really look forward to in the shop. So as soon as I get here, all you really have to do is comb the beard out. Now the nice thing about combing your beard out with this is it stays combed out and it stays untangled for pretty much the rest of the day. So that's like a huge advantage to me because it just annoys me when I take a comb through my beard over and over again just to straighten it out, and then 2 minutes later it's all tangled up again. So not only will this make your beard lay better, it will also make it straighter and appear longer. And then my favorite part about this is once you've grown out your mustache and it's kind of swole like mine, you could take this with it hot and you could just go ahead and you could cook it right over to the side. This keeps the hair going off to the side and out of your mouth, so you might actually be able to eat some food without looking like a total mess. So this is definitely on the top of my list of things that I never personally would have bought for myself, but I've found it really useful to use both on clients and personally, and I've had a lot of clients share interest in this when they were in the shop. Hey man, where'd you get that? I wanna get one of those. So that's gone on an awful lot, so there's definitely a lot of interest for this product. So the fact that this is battery powered means that I don't have no cords, I don't have no obstructions in the way, and then the other thing that I've used this on somewhat is using it in the hair to make the hair kind of lay a certain way, to get a colic to lay down, like some unruly colics and stuff like that. It's definitely fantastic. And if you've ever blown out your beard with a blow dryer, that's kind of the feeling you get, except for you don't need the skills to blow out your beard. All you really gotta do is make sure your beard's dry and then comb it out with this. It's as simple as that. It has a heating element that goes around, and it's actually kind of, it's possible to burn yourself. I put it right up to 400 degrees. And it's very easy to use on yourself, but it's a little more nerve-wracking to use on the client. So like my advice to you, if you're gonna start using this, would be to just move a little faster at first, and you'll get it figured out. It's really not too bad to use. and it's actually very pleasurable on the beard. Like, even though, you know, it's heating up your face a little bit, and something about this just feels really good. And once your beard is all combed out, it feels amazing. So that's gonna be it for the things that I just couldn't live without, for the things that I probably wouldn't have used if I didn't start a YouTube channel, if companies didn't send me products. I wouldn't even have experimented with all this stuff, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a comment, hit the like button, and we'll probably do a little giveaway based on the comment section. With that being said, this is the YouTube Barber Academy. I'm Mr. Eddie Barber, and I'm out of here. Peace. Yo, real quick, I just want to mention what I'm going to do next. I'm doing the Mythic versus the Saber shootout, and I actually used both of them all day. One side of the head I cut with the Mythic, the other side of the head I cut with the Saber, and we're going to figure out which one's better. Also, drop it in the comments what it is that you want me to give away, and I promise you guys, after about a week or so, I'm going to do another live, and we're going to draw somebody to win whatever it is we decide to give away. So in the comments, man, mention what you want given away, and please, do me this big favor and just smash that like button before you go. Other than that, man, I'll catch you guys in my next one. Peace.